McKlane does a bunch of like horrible ass title work, but he makes good money from it. So I wanted to bring him on. I'm glad he came on. So I'll let you take the floor. Anything you feel is relevant, we can do Q&A, whatever. This is like a laid back deal.
Okay. No, that's great. I appreciate you having me on here too. This is my second time. Yeah, I'll give you some background real quick. So I'm over here in East Texas, Greenville, Texas, if y'all know the area, but I've been in real estate 4.5 years full time. I was in medical device sales, software sales, left my job May 2020. We all know what happened during that time. So it was a fun time to be a business owner. And I started wholesaling. That was how I made my money. Wholesaling, we did fix and flips. I've got rentals, notes, things like that. And 2024, we were, no, sorry, Q4 of 2023 into 2024, I was buying about 2 fix and flips a week. And it was awful. Like we had private money out the wazoo. It was like, hey, if you've got the money and just because you can do it, doesn't mean you should do it, especially when you have private lenders wanting to do it. We're locking up deals for 30 cents the dollar, the only buyers. I got back to me where I was like, hey, I don't like doing this. I love doing messy title. Let's get back to it. And so I would say the last 7, 8 months, we've been back 100% on messy title. That's all we're focusing on. To give you all a deal flow example, we do anywhere from 15 to 20 deals a month. Our average spread is 22 to 23,000. I don't like to go after $1 million homes. I like to go after price points that's the blue collar working class, like under $150,000 on market value is our typical deal, just to give me an idea. But y'all have had Logan on this call, right, before?
Was our
Yeah,
last
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so Logan and I are like this, like we do pretty much similar deals. He loves to sue everyone if they don't start negotiating. I like to talk to everyone and try and work a deal out. Our typical deals, it's the deals that most investors pass up on. They're not easy. We do close on stuff outside of title. So our timelines are very quick. If we have everyone that's cooperating, willing, and able, we can close on a deal within 24 hours.
Sorry, I just muted you on accident,
You're good.
McKlane. I was
You're
trying to
good.
mute someone else.
You're good. But we can close on a deal within 24 hours. We do have our process for closing on stuff without title insurance. We have our guy that does our title searches for us. If y'all decide to go that route, it's $35. I'll share with Travis who our connection is. But that's our deals. That is literally our deals. I've done deals where we send pizzas to people. I've told this before in your group. We will send pizzas to people and we'll put like a note inside of it and say, hey, call me about your property. Enjoy the pizza. We'll get them the brownies, the Coke, everything they want. And it really stands out because a lot of these people, they either forgot about the property, they have no idea they're partial owners to it. I can tell you, we have more one call closes than we do follow-up calls because these people are so intrigued and they're like, what do you mean it's my property? What do you mean I'm a fifth ownership? Or what do you mean I'm a half owner? And so we break it down with them. And that's really our deals. We are mainly overcoming objections such as, what do you mean it's my part? What do you mean I get money from this? That is our objections. It's convincing them it's not a scam. Like that is our operation. So
I love your side of the business because, you know, as well as I do, the traditional wholesale, right? You got a route. You have to be like this badass closer, right? Like you do.
yeah,
But on your end, you're a technician. Like as soon as you come out the gate and you say something, they're like, what? Like you don't need all these like badass formulas and nothing. That's cool.
yeah. And I like that you say the formula. Our thought process, because whenever we switch the buying out the interest, buying out the deeds, it's not ARV minus repairs minus my wholesale fee. It's you got $0 before I called you. Everything I offer you is now above profit. That's all it is. But yeah, Travis, what questions do you normally have? I'll leave some time for Q&A.
Yeah, dude. So I've got a question. Logan, he went through his process. He's sorry, I'm letting people in. He's, hey, look, I have these closers on the team or salespeople, he calls them, which that's taboo in like wholesale. But anyway,
Yeah,
it's funny. But and he's look, I tell them, here's a tax delinquent list, pull 25 properties off of this list, work that for the week, the ones that are actually being sued.
yeah.
And that's how they do their business. They have the 25 and each salesperson, that's what they work for the week. How do you operate?
So we operate off the tax delinquent list here. So tax delinquent list, I'll put in perspective here because tax delinquent list can be anything from, hey, you're behind 1 year, 2 years behind on taxes, things like that. Tax foreclosure or tax suits is, hey, we were actually being sued. Okay, now we are under the gun to get something done. So I normally set the timeline like this. You have someone that's behind on taxes, 1 year, they're tax delinquent. Okay. In some counties, there can be people that are 25, 30 years behind on taxes and they never get a tax suit, which a tax suit is the attorney saying, hey, we're going to sue you for the taxes, pay it up, or we're going to foreclose on you. We have people that are 25, 28 years behind on taxes, never been sued, but they're getting the notices, hey, you're behind on taxes, hey, you need to pay up, things like that. So we have deals like that where you're tax delinquent and then you have your tax suit. So between there is where we play in there where it's the time before they get foreclosed on at the tax foreclosure, but they have the notice. So like our typical deal is someone that is 7 years to 20 years behind on taxes, which I know sounds absurd, but that it literally happens a lot. We love to go after those people because it's 7 years. They've already tried to sell before. They've already given up on it, but they haven't gotten the notice where it's like, hey, foreclosure's coming up tomorrow kind of thing or next week. So we have some wiggle room. We have some play room there. Texas specifically, they have to get served 3 times before they can go to tax foreclosure. Okay. So we have noticed that in a lot of counties, what happens is the tax attorneys can't serve every single person, and so they delay the tax foreclosure. So like for example, we have a deal, it's an acre and a half in the city. There used to be a house and there got demolished. They are 18 years behind and they got served a tax notice for a tax sale in 2019. They still have not gotten foreclosed on because they can't find the other 2 heirs. We have contact with 2 of them. We just have to find the last one. That is the typical deals we target. Tax foreclosure very quickly. Everyone knows what's up. Everyone's trying to get after it, but I like that 5 to 15 years behind on taxes and they haven't gotten served yet. That's where I like.
And there's probably some you're running across where, like you said, they have to get served 3 times, but like they couldn't find them.
Yeah.
Right? You have a whole list of people and they couldn't find them. You chase those two.
Yeah. Especially if it's one person and they can't find them. So like, for example, is this recorded or not recorded?
Yeah, it's recorded.
Okay. Is it just to your group? Because
Yeah.
I'll show you one of our deals, like what the timeline is on it.
Yeah, it's just us.
Let me see real quick. Give me just a second. Let me see. Okay. So like I'll show y'all one of our deals. Let me clear out what I need to right here real quick. What's one we can pull up? Bates. If y'all come to the county, y'all can find deals in any county. Like this works in pretty much every county. There's what 260 counties in Texas. So if you go to any state, perfectly fine. So I'm going to pull this up real quick. I'm going to get the documents to show you all the timeline, how quick our stuff comes up. Okay, yeah, we'll do this one because we already own title on it. So there's no gatekeeping on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a typical deal for us. This is actually one, and I'll show you all exactly the details on it. Okay, so y'all should see my pipe drive. It's our CRM we use, super friendly. So our typical deal, we will have our tax delinquent list. We have our researcher come in, they prep the information, which we get the tax payoff, the lien payoff, the heirship summary. This is the meat and potatoes. This is what tells our acquisitions people, hey, this is your strike package. Here's who you need to target, which in this case, we all missed it. We all missed it. We didn't even think of this step. So like this property, Mr. Four Spades, we thought it was a lady at first. Our researcher found their info, said, yes, they are deceased. Okay. And then they build out our target package. And again, not to be super aggressive, but these are the next of kin. And so a lot of us on here, Travis, I know you're a closer. If you're on this call, you got closed by Travis at some point. Guys, there's a lot of people that they can think critically, but they have a hard time doing sales. And then you have guys that are very high D personality and can do sales. What we are doing is we're separating the process and going, hey, researcher, give us all the information we need so our acquisition person only has to focus on closing that person or solving the family tree problems. So we found the aunt. We found the aunt, found her kids. Turns out we were completely off the wrong trail. What we went to go find out is this tax attorney, let me see. Okay, we had made initial contact. What was it? This has been sitting in our CRM since like December 23rd. Like we have a ton of records that are just sitting here. So our researcher researched this on March 21st, okay? On March 31st, our acquisition said, hey, this is not the correct people. We need to dive into it. April 1st, we made contact with the nieces and nephews. Nieces and nephews said, hey, I think there was a probate taken out on her case. We're not the ones you need to talk to. Okay. On April 4th, we confirmed that there was a probate. We talked to the deceased person's sister. By April 8th, we had the contract. We had a deed in hand. We are now the owners. So what's our timeline? Our timeline was March 21st when it came on radar. April 1st, we made first calls. By April 8th, we owned the property. And here we are on the 23rd, 24th. We're closing it on the 23rd, 24th. Okay.
And how much did you pay for that deed?
Zero. She literally was like, I'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
We have a recorded call. She goes, I forgot about this property. She was executor. Let me pull this file up. She was executor gonna stop share for a second. She was executor for this estate, and she was the only person that handled the probate back in 1993. Okay. She got the probate, cleaned out the cash accounts, and then she walked away from the property. Taxes haven't been paid in 28 years, 29 years. She literally was like, I forgot about that property. I've told the city I don't want this property. I will just give it to you for $0.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Y'all, this is like the fourth one this month we have had where people are just like, I'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull this up just to give you an idea. This lady is 28 years, 29 years behind on taxes. Let me pull up the email from
How
the
much does
attorney.
that account? Like, I mean, 60, 70 G's maybe?
No, it's honestly not bad. I think it's 9,000 what our payoff was. We just got it back today for our final because there's two different taxing entities. It was like $9,800. But we are stepping into her position for $0. I gave her 500 because I was like, look,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, or sorry, ma'am. I was like, here, take this. We gave her $500, but really it was zero. It's a wash. We only have to pay the taxes at closing on the back end. So y'all, what's my cost in the deal? $125 for the warranty deed. I don't have to pay the taxes until the end. I gave her $500, so I'm all in 625, 650. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're making 18, basically 19,000. We're making 18.7 on this deal. It took one call for me. Our acquisition called the niece and nephew, so they talked to three people. But guys, how many of y'all would like to have a deal with $600, maybe $1,000? Our average acquisition is about $2,000, and your net profit's anywhere from $20,000 to $23,000. That's what we do.
It's awesome, dude.
And our call, like we have our call sample. I'll be happy to share it with your group. We have our call flows where it's, hey, here's our example of initial calls talking to these types of people where they have no idea about the property. Here's the first call. It's our overseas Filipinos calling them. Hey, Travis, do you know anything about this property? No, that's my grandpa's property. No idea about it. Great. They've already got the summary because remember, they can have that conversation. It's not, hey, do you want to sell your property for a cash offer? It's, hey, I saw it was your grandpa's property. I saw that you were next in kin. Do you have any idea about this? And they go, man, that's a fresher breath of air because you actually know what's going on. You're not calling for my dead grandpa.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me find this. I will find, where's the probate? It's a probate record.
Dude, that's awesome. So say somebody wanted to, they're like, you know what? I'm going to do one of these. Not going to quit my day job. I'm not going to quit what I'm doing to feed fam, but I'm going to do one of these. All right. What are they going to do? They're going to go search a tax list, 20 years old.
Tax delinquent list, anyone that's 5 to 7 years minimum behind on taxes and then all the way back. If y'all want a real banger deal, like this is our fire deals here, is you want to look for people that own multiple parcels that are on tax delinquent. Because if you can talk to one seller and they have 5, 6, 7 properties, that's better than talking to 7 different personalities of sellers. I'm telling y'all, that is our main target, is anybody that has 2 or more properties. Obviously, path of growth, we try and go for a price point where it's at $30,000 to $50,000 range because one, the taxes are still low. So even if someone's 25 years behind on taxes, the tax bill is $9K and I can sell it for 35, 40 grand on market. And then if I decide to own or finance it, Travis, you might think of it differently. Everyone has a different thought process on this. If I'm in it for $500 on the acquisition and I can't sell it for $40,000 cash as is on market, I can still own or finance it and then go to the county and put it on a tax payment plan. Okay, if I do a tax payment plan, I say, hey, I'm going to pay $300 a month and my owner finance buyers pay me $1,000 a month, I'm going to cash flow on that deal until I'm paid up.
I like it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So even our deals that are like, they're worth $15,000, we're in them for $50 or $100. That's it.
I just love the mindset. I love protecting your principal because on the other side of the game, you throw money, right? You make big money on the good ones, right?
Yeah.
Let's be real. But you throw a lot of money, right? There's a lot of sleepless nights. But on your side of the game, it's just, hey, we are protecting our principal at all. That's the, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's the ideology. I'm protecting our
100%.
principal at all costs.
Yeah. Yeah. I was sitting on 12 fix and flips. The average hard money loan was like 180, 200,000 last year. Guys, sit on those for 8, 9 months. I know most of y'all are either seasoned investors, new investors, so I don't know the exact demographic, but if you're sitting on 10 plus flips at $200,000 per hard money loan, your interest payments are like $1,700, $1,800 minimum per month, tax, insurance, everything. I would much rather own a property outright or fractional ownership for $2,000 and still make my margin, like just hands down. And I know you do this model too, like listing on the MLS. That's what we do. We are now fully owners of the property. If I paid $1,000 to get that property and I have $9,000 of property taxes, I don't have to pay off until I sell it. I'm only in at $1,000. If I sell it for $20,000, I'm still making 10. I'm not mad at that.
And that's why I got into doing so many hotels, right? Because I was in the same boat, and I'm like, damn, like this pressure is just not worth it, right? At the end of the day. And then I'm like doing these deals where you just throw them right back on the MLS. I was talking to Logan, and it's why I wanted to bring you on too, and him, because me and him are buddies, and we don't really talk a lot of business most of the time. And he's like, dude, I do like however many hotels. I might say it's business, but we do a lot of hotels a month. What do you mean? He's like, yeah, we just buy them off the tax lien. I'm just buying them for 1,000 though. You're paying your lenders all this money. And I'm like, damn, we need to do some more of those.
Yeah, or you get them for free. They're just like, I
Yeah,
don't want anything to do with it.
yeah. We'll open it up for Q&A. And dude, thank you so much again for jumping on here. I freaking appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're welcome. I'm going to show y'all this. I
Oh,
actually just found this was from our probate record on this attorney. And and tell me if I'm wrong. Has anybody come onto the group call, showed their CRM live? Probably like one. Okay, all of y'all shook your heads. Oh, that's what I think is the most shocking thing is people don't open their CRMs up. I'm just saying for me, like I have to show people this because they don't believe it. They're like, "What do you mean y'all closed on a deal in 24 hours, 48 hours?" And this is what we're doing. Okay, y'all note this date here, January 3rd, 2025. So if y'all don't know this, whenever you request probate records, the probate secretary that hands out the probate records, the files, they have to take note of who requested the probate records. So we found out that the attorney had requested the probate records to do a title search on this to see who they need to serve in the tax suit. This was the January 3rd of this year. It took them 2.5 months to get a title search. And all it was a probate. An executor already established, ready for the probate, took them 28 years behind on taxes. It took them another 2 months to do a title search once they were locked in on their target. It took us 24 hours to get title, ownership deed, everything done. That's what I'm talking about here. You're snatching it out from right under the tax attorney's nose. So that's the type of deals we love to do. Keeps them on their toes, keeps us on our toes too.
hell yeah. That's awesome, dude. And you said you'll give me that title search connection, right?
Yeah. Make sure to text me afterward. He is overseas. He does title searches for First American title. Takes him like 24 hours. So what we do is we do a rough title search because we have confidence in that. But we normally just go, hey, let's double check our work. And it's $35. He's been doing title searches for me for about a year and a half now. I love him. He's great. And plus he's overseas. So he can do a title search while you're asleep.
That's awesome, dude. Randy, what you got, man? We'll go through here.
Hold on, had to unmute myself. Hey, McLean, I appreciate it. So these lists, you're going straight to the county or are you using a service to pull it? I'm assuming you go straight to the county.
Yeah, straight to the county is always best. Get the raw data. It normally comes to you in either TXT, DAT files, or a CD-ROM. If they give you a CD-ROM and you have to pick it up in person, that is freaking gold. So down in like Southwest Texas in Brazoria County, they give it to you on a CD-ROM back in the day, like 2 years ago. Dude, there was like 3,500 properties on that list.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were getting stuff for $500 like all day long, like across the board, no matter what. So it normally comes in TXT DAT files, never a CSV. But if they're like, hey, we need you to come in person and pick it up, or it's a CD-ROM, that is gold.
And if you can't get a hold of some of these people, do you have their mailing address? Do you mail to them too? Or is it just strictly all calling?
That's a great question. We're very call heavy. One, I am very much the guy, Travis, you're the same way I know you are. If I can get them on the phone today and get a response today, I would rather have that. So we don't send like bulk mail or anything like that. That's one of our qualifiers is, do they not have a mailing address? Because there's people who don't have mailing addresses. The golden mailing address doesn't work. Like those are type of deals I like. So we will do certified letters. If it's a package that we have underwritten, we're like, hey, this is a really good deal. So good deal could be 3 to 5 acres, multi-parcel owner. Hey, it's just a really great property whenever we underwrite it. We will send them a pizza, flowers, if it's a lady. We will send them like DoorDash for $7 and you send it during lunchtime if they're older. You can catch it and you're $12, you're gonna get a response right then. So we do it that way. I don't prefer mail, bulk mail, anything like that. I don't prefer that because it's very reactionary on the seller's part. I want to know
Right.
that we can either get a visual confirmation. Hey, old lady answered the door. What's her name? Okay, now I have a confirmed confirmation who picked it up. Okay, did they get my information? Yes. That's why I prefer DoorDash, gifts, anything like that.
Got it. So how, obviously Texas, it seems like is pretty easy to work with. And you talk about your price point, 150 or below. I'm in Northern California, so 150 doesn't get you much in California.
Oh yeah, you just higher price
So,
point.
so something like this would work in out here as well, I'm
Yeah,
assuming, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
I've got to see Sacramento. She's in NorCal. I
Yep,
think she's
that's
in.
where we're at.
Yeah, so she's in NorCal. So she
Yep.
does mainly JV models. I'll name drop her because she does joint venture deals. If you come across deals like that,
Okay.
Stephanie Shepard is her name.
Okay.
Great gal. I've known her for probably 5 years. She will joint venture with you on these deals. Let her like this if you have deals out there. And she also does nationwide too. She is a freaking private eye. Like, even though she doesn't have her license, she is a private eye. Like, whenever I can't find people, she's like, I got them, got their social security, got their next of kin. Here you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the price points she sees out there are like 500 to $1 million. And
Yep.
it's just a matter of finding the next of kin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you got rid of REI SIFT, huh?
No, we still use REISIF. It's just in the
Okay.
background. Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
We still use REISIF. It's in the background for our data management. The only thing we've gotten rid of is like our auto dialer. We've completely gotten rid of our auto dialer. That's
Yeah,
really the only thing.
that makes sense. Cool, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Todd, what you got, man?
Is there some states or counties, I guess, states that you just should stay away from?
California? No, I'm kidding. No. So most states are going to be, you want to look at the states and one, see what their entity laws are. That's number one. So for example, do they have where you have to go through probate? So for example, Florida, you can still do deals like this. You're just going to have to go through probate every time, and you're going to have to factor in, hey, it's going to be $3,000 to $5,000 every single time we do a probate. The states that I prefer, obviously Texas, because we can do affidavit of heirships if someone doesn't have a will and we don't want to go through probate, we can do affidavit heirships. The second thing is I prefer tax deed states. So Texas is a hybrid. It's tax deed, but also tax lien. I'm answering your question in a way is don't go to Florida, y'all, unless you're willing to do more paperwork and cough up more money. Because
Sure.
Florida is a tax lien state and you have to go through probate for everything. Okay. There's a way to get around the probate and you do it yourself. Like you are stepping in the position of the next of kin and doing it. But again, it's still going to be $4,000 to do probate. So
Michigan might be that way also.
okay. Oh yeah, you're in Detroit.
Yeah.
So that's the things you want to check is what's the regulation, what's the laws if they die without a will, and then tax deed or tax lien. Because tax liens, they move a lot quicker when they go and put that lien on the property. But tax deed, that's where you get to have people that are 15 years behind on taxes, 20 years behind on taxes. And it's more to your favor because it gives you more time to go chase them down.
Gotcha.
Alan, what about you, man? What you got?
I called my local county the other day and they said that their tax delinquent list is like all in a book. How would you handle like that situation? Because I would have to scan it all on my phone. So like, how do you even skip trace that kind of stuff?
Oh my word. Okay. Is it a county in Texas?
No, it's in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. I know two guys do new construction out there. They find messy title on lots. Okay. So you need to find out how they have it set up. If it's truly only books, you're sitting on gold. It's going to be very manual process. So you can either scan it like, what's the app that does it? There's a note-taking app that scans in the document. So you can do that. That's one way to do it. If you can get it in a TXT file, let me ask you this. Are you talking to the tax collector or the tax assessor?
No, I just called called the county clerk or whatever, and they said I can come by whenever, but it's just in a book. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay, so clarify there. Okay, so you have three main government bodies that you're going to deal with. Four, county clerk, civil court, tax collector, tax assessor. Okay, tax assessor is not really going to do much for you. It's just telling you, hey, here's what the property's worth. Here's the deed history. Tax collector is who you want to get the list from. Okay, tax collector, every year they're going to know who they're going to send the list out to and go, hey, Randy, you owe us $5,000 in property taxes. Here's how much you owe. Here's your exemptions. That's the one you want to get. So tax collector, because I have people that they go to the tax assessor and they're like, hey, what's this list? And they're like, we don't have the list. Tax collector, it will cost you anywhere from $50 to $150. It's going to come in as a TXT DAP file or a CD-ROM, or if they hand you a book, then start scanning the book. Once you have that, we have our guy on Fiverr. What's his tag name? It's NS9666 Naeem. He will take the raw data file, TXT DAP file. I'm pretty sure the tax office has their stuff online. He will scrape the county website and he'll get all the information. So like legal description, the full mailing address, all that information, so you can put it into your CRM, your call system, whatever you need to, or send it off to get skip traced. And he might charge you, I think right now he's like $100, like $120. The whole process will cost you about $200. Now, as far as it being in a book, either you're gonna have to scan it or go to the tax collector and ask him for that list. I'm pretty sure they have it. Nowadays, if they're only books, like they probably don't have electricity at that point. I'm just gonna say that. But most counties will have it on a TXT or a DAT file at the very minimum.
Gotcha.
Friction the better.
Yeah, more friction. If they're like, dude, we don't take debit cards, credit cards, Zelle, Venmo, and they're like, we need a check, you are on to something. Like that is the first thing. If they say, hey, we only take checks, not cashier checks, you're in the money.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Matt, what you got, dude?
So I have a list from Lee County and I had to pay $50 with a check and they put it on a zip drive for me and mailed it back to me. But how are you judging, or the data I have doesn't have how far back they are delinquent wise?
Oh, really? No, you need that. You really need that.
Okay.
So I'm going to type in the chat his info on Fiverr. So Fiverr NS 9666. Yes, it is 666s. I'm like, whatever, dude. His name's Naeem. I'm going to drop his link as well just to help out. Travis, make sure I give this to y'all later. Again, I want to give y'all some value because, like, one, I want to make sure y'all get some deals so you can come back to Travis and be like, dude, this is legit. This is the deal. Here's his link to it. So what you want to do is, so take the list, send it to Naeem on Fiverr, and then give him a link to the county tax website and say, hey, McLean Bobbitt told me to use you. Here's my raw file list. Here's the county I need it scraped off of. And he'll give you a quote, be like $75 or $100, and it'll take him like 3 days. And he'll scrape it out where it says years behind, total taxes owed, mailing address, physical address, property ID, parcel ID, legal description, like all that info.
Okay, so question to follow. I already skipped that list and I have emails, phone numbers, and everything for everyone as well. Can he take that list? Because the one Lee
And fill it
County
in.
is in a zip file that was put onto a hard drive or put onto a thumb drive. Can he take the CSV file that's been cleaned up and skipped and then figure out which ones are worth?
Do you still have the property IDs on there, or like the geo IDs?
By the way, when y'all get your deal, you got to tag McLean on social. Like, hey,
Yeah, watch. Someone's going to get a deal in 3 days.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, someone's going to get a deal in 3-4 days.
I'm about to throw my VA on this. I don't see the property. It gives me property address,
Okay.
and mailing address and all that, but I don't see ID.
Okay. So whenever you download that file, send it to him and say, hey, I don't have the property IDs, but I've got the physical addresses. Because what he does is we get the raw file and it has the property ID and it has 01000, like it's coded out.
Yeah.
And all he does is he takes the property ID and then runs a Python script over the county website and it fills out the rest of the information. So he just needs a good point of reference to fill in the gaps on that spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah. Because some counties, what they'll do is they'll do a tax delinquent list and they will actually just do everyone on that tax delinquent list. Even if they're 1 year behind, they'll put them on there. And it does your guys no good to go after a year. You might get one, but it's very low, like very low.
Yeah. Okay.
Randy asked if you had your school community.
Yes. I wasn't going to do a plug on here just because it's
Plug it,
Travis's
dude.
group. But yes, we do have our group. We're 39 or 40 members strong on there. A lot of the guys on there are very technical. I almost say we attract the nerds. I told Logan that. We're the nerds of the group. But yes, we do have our school community.
Yeah, bro, plug away. Like, these deals are badass. You gotta know how to do all this stuff to do it. So yeah, plug it in.
Let's see, Todd, how can I just virtually know state? I'm thinking I would hire, so you just have a runner. You don't even need someone local to do deals in other states. So like, for example, if I was doing a county virtually, we do counties virtually. Like I've done deals in, Brazoria County. So Southwest Houston, Lubbock, Tyler, Texas, one county south of me, one north of me. Like we do it all over. The main thing is you can't look at it and say, I need to get a list of 10,000 people. You need to look at it and go, I need a list of 3,000 people that are super targeted and willing to sell. So for example, if I were to go do it into another state, one, I would check off, hey, what's their intestacy laws? What do I do if someone dies without a will? 2, is it a tax deed or tax lien state? Okay. If it checks those boxes, okay, let's go in there. Let's do it. What I would do is find out, hey, how do I get the tax list? Nowadays, you can typically call in, email in, whatever, get the list, and then either mail in a check or you can pay a runner to go up there and physically get it, depending on that county. So for example, if they're like, hey, you have to come pick it up in person, which is very rare nowadays. But if I had that, I would just go on to either Fiverr, or you can call a local notary and have them go pick it up.